Hello, I'm Dr. John Barnes. I'm 60 years old, and for more than 3 decades I've walked alongside thousands of patients over the age of 50 across America, helping them protect their precious eyesight and vision. Imagine this. This morning, you wake up and reach for the newspaper, only to realize you have to hold it farther away to read it. You check your phone, but the small letters start to blur. Driving at night, the glare from oncoming headlights blinds you for a moment, your heart pounding because you're not sure you can see the road clearly. Or maybe you simply step from bright sunlight into a dim room, and your eyes take minutes to adjust, minutes that feel like you're walking through a fog. Many of my patients have told me, "Doctor, I mixed up my pills because I couldn't read the label. I nearly fell in my own home because I didn't see the step." These changes don't happen overnight. They creep in slowly, piece by piece, stealing away clarity, confidence, and even your independence. But I want you to remember this. Aging does not mean you have to give up. Your eyes are still alive. They still respond. And if you give them the right nutrition every day, they can still fight back against time. Today, I'll share with you 7 powerful nuts, tiny warriors from nature, that I recommend to nearly all my patients. These nuts are not only delicious and easy to find, but science has shown they can help protect your retina, reduce eye dryness and strain, improve your ability to see in the dark, and keep the world before you sharp, vibrant, and full of color, for many more years to come. If you treasure your eyes and want to keep seeing every precious moment in life clearly, stay with me until the very end of this video. And now, I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite little warriors for eye health, the walnut. I like to call walnuts the lifeblood of the retina. You see, our eyes are like a delicate garden. Every cell in the retina, the part that receives light and turns it into images, needs a constant flow of oxygen-rich, nutrient-rich blood. But as the years pass, those tiny roadways of blood vessels start to narrow, inflame, and slow down. That's when your eyes tire more easily. Images lose their sharpness, and sometimes it feels like a thin fog is settling over your vision. This is where the omega-3 ALA in walnuts shines. These healthy fats don't just reduce inflammation. They help keep those hair-thin blood vessels in your eyes open, flexible, and strong. I often joke with my patients. Think of walnuts as your eye's personal highway maintenance crew. They clean up, make repairs, and keep the blood traffic moving smoothly. One of my patients, Clara, 68, once told me that every afternoon her eyes seemed to droop, as if she'd been through a long day, even though it was only 3 p.m. She loved reading novels, but after just a short while, the words would blur. When I examined her, I found sluggish blood flow in her eyes and a history of high blood pressure. We started with something simple. Swap her afternoon cookie for a small handful of walnuts and a glass of water. 3 months later, she told me her eyes could last much longer. She'd finished an entire chapter without once taking off her glasses to rub her eyes. Have you ever felt that way? That moment when you have to close your favorite book because your eyes are just too tired? I believe aging doesn't mean giving up those joys, and science agrees. Research shows that the omega-3s in walnuts don't just protect the eyes, they also boost memory and improve heart health. So you're not only caring for your vision, you're caring for your brain and your heart too. Of course, walnuts aren't an instant miracle. They're not a pill. They're a companion. Just one small handful a day, about a quarter cup, over the course of months can help your eyes feel less fatigued, your mind more alert, and even improve your sleep. So next time you open your pantry, keep a jar of walnuts somewhere you can see them. Every handful you eat isn't just a snack. It's a promise you make to yourself to protect your vision, keep your mind sharp, and continue seeing clearly all the moments that matter most. If walnuts are the lifeblood that nourishes your retina, then almonds are the shield that protects it. I often tell my patients, your eyes are like a priceless painting displayed outdoors. They need a pane of glass to shield them from wind, dust, and harsh sunlight, or the colors will fade over time. For your eyes, that protective glass is vitamin E, and almonds are one of the richest natural sources of it. Do you know why I love vitamin E so much? Because every single day, your eyes face millions of tiny threats. Blue light from screens, UV rays from the sun, dust and pollution, and the slow but steady march of natural aging. All of these create something we in medicine call oxidative stress. Imagine hundreds of microscopic vandals trying to weaken the cells in your retina. Vitamin E is the security guard that stands in their way. I remember one patient, Harold, age 70. Every morning, he'd start his day with a crossword puzzle and a cup of coffee. One day, he came into my office looking a little discouraged. "Doc, lately the letters keep blurring. I have to squint just to make them out." When I examined him, I saw the early signs of oxidative stress in his retina. A clear warning that if nothing changed, his vision would continue to decline. We didn't go for any special medication. Instead, I told him, "Harold, starting tomorrow, add a small handful of almonds, about 23 pieces, to your breakfast, and stick with it." 6 months later, Harold walked back into my office with a bright smile. "Doc, I finished the entire crossword puzzle today without squinting once." I'm not saying almonds are magic, but when you give your eyes the nutrients they truly need, your body has an amazing way of responding. And almonds bring more than just vitamin E. They offer healthy fats that help your body absorb vitamins A and D, plant-based protein to support your muscles, and a bit of fiber to keep your heart and digestion in good shape. But most importantly for your eyes, almonds are like a loyal bodyguard, quietly protecting each retinal cell from the wear and tear of time. So tomorrow morning, as you get your breakfast ready, place a small handful of almonds right next to your coffee cup. It's not just a snack. It's a gentle reminder to your eyes that you still want to see this beautiful world, clearly and vividly, for many more years to come. If almonds are the shield for your retina, then cashews are like the quiet craftsman working backstage, carefully tending to the golden spot in your eye that determines whether you can see fine details or not. We call that spot the macula. It's tiny, but it's the heart of your vision. Thanks to the macula, you can read the fine print on a prescription bottle, recognize a loved one's face from across the street, or drive safely at night. But the truth is, as we age, the macula is often the first place to be attacked. Sunlight, free radicals, and the body's declining ability to absorb nutrients all take their toll, slowly weakening it. This is where zinc, a mineral found abundantly in cashews, becomes a silent lifesaver. Zinc helps your body produce melanin, the eye's natural sunscreen, and also acts like a faithful courier, delivering vitamin A from the liver straight to the retina. Without zinc, you could have plenty of vitamin A in your system, but your eyes would never receive it. I remember Evelyn, a 72-year-old widow who lived alone. She preferred handwritten letters from her children and grandchildren over emails. One day, she sat in my exam room with tears welling up in her eyes. "Doctor, lately I've had to turn on extra lights just to read their letters, and at night I can hardly drive anymore. I'm scared. Scared that one day I won't be able to read their words at all." Hearing her say that made my heart ache. We ran some tests, and the results showed she was low in zinc. I suggested something simple. One small handful of cashews, about 16 to 18 pieces, each day, added to breakfast or as an afternoon snack. 3 months later, Evelyn returned with her face lit up. Now I can read my letters without an extra lamp. And last night, I drove home from a dinner party with my friends for the first time in years. We both smiled, not because cashews are some kind of magic, but because her body had finally received what it had been missing. You see, sometimes protecting your eyesight doesn't require anything complicated. You just have to remember that every cashew you eat today is like laying a small brick in the wall that guards your macula. And that wall will help you hold on to the joy of reading, the freedom of driving, and the ability to recognize the eyes of the people you love for longer than you might think. So the next time you see a bag of cashews at the grocery store, remember, it's not just a snack. It's a promise you're making to your future self. A future where light and color remain vivid in your eyes. If cashews are the craftsmen guarding the golden spot of your eye, then hazelnuts are the quiet cleanup crew. patiently sweeping away the debris that time and the environment leave behind in your vision. Every day, our eyes work tirelessly, receiving light, processing images, adjusting from bright to dark. But along the way, sunlight, dust, the glare of phone and computer screens, they all leave behind invisible trash in the form of free radicals. These unstable molecules creep in, slowly damaging retinal cells, sparking inflammation, and chipping away at your vision. I often explain it to my patients like this. Think of your retina as a greenhouse for flowers. If the glass is covered in dust, light can't get in properly, and the plants inside will weaken. And if no one ever cleans it, eventually the beauty inside will fade. Hazelnuts are that cleaner, because they contain not only vitamin E, but also a rich variety of polyphenols, powerful plant-based antioxidants that seek out and neutralize free radicals before they can do harm. I remember Frank, 66, a lifelong gardener. He told me, "Doc, I still love the green of the leaves and the red of the roses, but lately, everything seems duller." When I examined him, I saw mild inflammation in his retina and tiny spots, early warning signs of macular degeneration. I recommended he add a small handful of hazelnuts to his daily diet and reminded him, choose them raw or dry roasted, skip the ones coated in sugar or chocolate. 6 months later, Frank returned with a gentle smile. "Doc, this spring I can see the colors of the flowers as vividly as I used to. It's like someone wiped the dust off my eyes." Hearing that, I knew the hazelnuts had been doing their work. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, day after day. You see, protecting your eyes doesn't always require big interventions. Sometimes it's about keeping a natural cleanup crew inside your body, so that every morning you can still see the golden sunlight, the colors of the flowers, and the faces of the people you love, clearly and fully. So when you hold a handful of hazelnuts, think of them as a gift to your eyes, a gift that helps you hold on to the most beautiful images of your life for many more years to come. If hazelnuts are the tireless cleanup crew, then pistachios are like a pair of high-end sunglasses your eyes are always wearing, whether you realize it or not. I want you to picture this. You're driving on a bright summer afternoon. The sunlight hits your eyes directly, and you instinctively squint, struggling to make out the road. Or maybe you step from the blazing outdoors into a dark room, and for those first few seconds, it's as if everything is swallowed by shadow. Have you ever felt that way? That's your retina working hard to adjust to sudden changes in light. And over time, that ability can weaken, making night driving harder and bright glare more uncomfortable. Pistachios can help here. They're rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two natural pigments that scientists call the eye's light filters. These pigments are stored right in the tissues of your retina, where they block harmful blue light, reduce glare, and improve image contrast. In other words, they're like built-in biological sunglasses, if you give your body the nutrients it needs to maintain them. I remember Dennis, 74, a retired mailman. He came to me saying, "Doc, whenever I look at headlights or sunlight reflecting off a surface, I see little dark spots floating. And when I walk from bright daylight into a movie theater, I can't see anything for a few minutes." When I dug into his diet, I found he ate almost no leafy greens or foods rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. So we started simple. He swapped his evening cookies for a small handful of unsalted, lightly roasted pistachios. 3 months later, Dennis returned, his eyes bright. "Doc, I went to the movies last week, and for the first time in years, I didn't have to stop and wait for my eyes to adjust. I could see right away." I smiled, knowing his body had finally gotten what it needed. Not a miracle, but the result of science and steady habits. What I love about pistachios is that, in addition to lutein and zeaxanthin, they also contain vitamin E, potassium, and healthy fats, all working together to nourish the most light-sensitive structures in your eyes. And here's the good news. Just one small handful a day is enough to keep those natural sunglasses functioning strong. So if you want to reduce glare while driving, adjust faster to changes in light, and protect your retina from blue light damage, Keep a jar of pistachios in your kitchen. Every handful you take isn't just a snack. It's an invisible layer of protection, helping the world in front of you stay clear, vibrant, and full of color. If pistachios are the natural sunglasses for your retina, then chia seeds are like a cool, refreshing spring that nourishes your eyes from the inside out. I often tell my patients, your eyes get thirsty too, just as much as the rest of your body. You can drink 8 glasses of water a day, but if your blood circulation is poor or low-grade inflammation is hanging around, the moisture in your eye tissues can still be lost, leaving your eyes dry, gritty, and sensitive to light. This is where chia seeds shine. They may be tiny, but they're a superfood packed with omega-3s, fiber, plant-based protein, and minerals. The omega-3s in chia seeds help reduce inflammation and improve blood flow to the eyes, while the fiber and minerals help lock in moisture, keeping your cornea and retina naturally hydrated. I remember Linda, a 65-year-old retired teacher who loved knitting. She came to me and said, "Doctor, lately I've had to stop every half hour because my eyes feel dry and scratchy, like there's sand in them." When I examined her, I found signs of chronic dry eye, along with slightly reduced blood flow to the eyes. We kept it simple. Each morning, she added 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to her almond milk or yogurt. I told her, "Be consistent. This is how you give your eyes a drink every single day." 3 months later, Linda came back smiling. "Now I can knit for an hour and a half straight without discomfort. The scratchiness is gone." Hearing that, I knew those tiny chia seeds had been quietly doing their work, keeping her eyes smooth, hydrated, and healthy. The beauty of chia seeds is how easy they are to work into your meals. Sprinkle them into smoothies, toss them over a salad, or soak them overnight for a pudding that's both delicious and good for your eyes. And just 1 tablespoon a day is enough to give your eyes the gift of moisture, the gift of seeing clearly without the constant irritation of dryness. So next time you spot a bag of chia seeds at the store, remember, it's not just another health food. It's a small key to keeping your gaze calm, comfortable, and clear, so that every day you can take in the world without blinking away discomfort. If chia seeds are the freshwater source that nourishes your eyes from within, then sunflower seeds are like a simple but highly effective suit of armor. Something anyone can own without breaking the bank or making things complicated. What I love about sunflower seeds isn't just that they're affordable and easy to find. It's the powerful combination they carry. Vitamin E and selenium, a dynamic antioxidant duo. If vitamin E is the shield that blocks free radicals, then selenium is the teammate that keeps that shield polished and strong. Together, they protect your retina from the silent assaults of light, environmental stress, and aging. I remember Robert, 69, a retired mechanic. His snack of choice had always been potato chips and pastries, and he hadn't really thought about his eye health in years. One day, he came to see me, saying that night driving had become more difficult. The glare from oncoming headlights was blinding and made it hard for him to focus. We talked about making a small change. I suggested, why not swap the chips for a handful of dry roasted, unsalted sunflower seeds? You'll still get that satisfying crunch, but you'll also be feeding your eyes. A few months later, he returned and told me, "Doc, I can drive home at night now with much less glare. I even feel more alert." I smiled. Not because sunflower seeds are some miracle cure, but because he had chosen to give his eyes a new layer of armor, 1 small handful at a time. The beauty of sunflower seeds is their versatility. You can sprinkle them over a salad, mix them into your morning oatmeal, or simply crack them open while reading the paper. And for just pennies a serving, you're giving your eyes real, lasting protection against the slow wear and tear of time. My friend, we've just walked together through a beautiful journey. Gentle, natural, yet full of hope. Walnuts, the blood flow that nourishes your retina. Almonds, the vitamin E shield. Chia seeds, the super seed that hydrates and nourishes your eyes. Cashews, zinc to protect the macula. Pistachios, your natural sunglasses. Hazelnuts, the antioxidant cleanup crew. Sunflower seeds, low cost, high benefit. Each seed, a unique role. Each day, a small choice, and over many days, a big difference. You don't need to remember them all. Just choose 2 to 3 kinds each day, about a small handful, 1 to 1.5 ounces, enough to nourish your eyes gently, steadily, and for the long run. Let breakfast be where you sprinkle a few almonds into your oatmeal, or add a spoon of chia seeds into almond milk. Let your afternoon snack be a handful of walnuts, cashews, or hazelnuts instead of cookies. Or toss some sunflower seeds over your favorite dinner salad. I don't know where you're watching this from. Maybe your cozy kitchen in the morning, a quiet living room, or lying in bed after a long day. But I'm grateful that you've stayed here until the very end, because it means you're giving love back to yourself. To the eyes that once lit up at the smile of someone you love. To the eyes that have witnessed life's many changes. If what I've shared in this video touched your heart, if you feel even a small spark of hope or inspiration to start caring for yourself today, leave me a comment. Tell me which seed you'll try first or what moved you most. Click like if this video brought you value. It tells me that somewhere out there, someone is listening and feeling encouraged. And subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, so that when I share more about natural health and living well after 50, you'll be the first to know. Because I don't just want you to watch my videos. I want to walk beside you, for the long haul, quietly, faithfully, like a friend who's always there in your mornings and your evenings.